Welcome to weekly meditation in November. A warm welcome on it's turning, it's proper autumn, cold and quite wet weather, which can dampen our spirits if we let it, but we don't have to. So we'll begin straight away by bringing ourselves into this place, this space, this moment, adjusting where we're sitting, doing everything with intention and noticing what we're doing, noticing when we move, noticing our feet in contact with the ground, noticing the contact of our bottom on the chair. If you can be upright, if that's comfortable, notice where you rest your hands and your forearms. So be comfortable and start to think about being relaxed as we take our usual deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, consciously thinking of filling the lungs. And then consciously emptying. Either with your eyes closed or half closed, or using the image on the screen. Continue with that deeper breathing, conscious of breathing a bit more deeply, noticing that it's in through the mouth, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Now build in a hold of maybe a count of 2 after the in-breath. Now, having brought the attention, the focus to the breath, move on to scan the body. Noticing any parts which are stiff or achy or a bit tense. Breathing into such places. And imagining any tension being breathed out. And now just notice different parts and have a sense of gratitude, even affection. The feet. Imagining how many miles in a lifetime they have trod. Perhaps they're a bit rough in parts, a bit calloused. Testimony to a lifetime's walking. And likewise the legs, the number of miles covered. Giving thanks for them. In my case, giving thanks for a new hip, allowing me to cover a few more miles in comfort. Focus on the stomach. Again, perhaps showing some signs of age, but being thankful for that. The arms which have embraced friends and family. Giving thanks that we can do that. And the face, the head, where we have our main sense organs of seeing, of hearing, of smelling, of tasting. And so back to the breath. Just notice if you're still breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And now bring the conscious attention to the physical rising and falling of the abdomen. Imagine there's a balloon inside that you're inflating on the in-breath and deflating on the out-breath. Such a visual imagery may help you in maintaining focus whilst breathing. You might want to choose a colour for that balloon. Rising and falling. Breathing in calm. Breathing out release. I thought we might call this session today Holy Simplicity. I was led to do a bit of reading about a movement, or can't think of a better word, the Beguines lived in Europe from about the year 1200 began to form. They were laywomen, not nuns, didn't take vows, weren't part of a formal religious order, but chose to live a life of poverty, simplicity, and service to those in need. This clearly tapped into something in the public consciousness because it spread across most of Europe, even though, as I said, they were never a religious order or a formalized movement. No specific founder, no defined rule to live by, but common elements of chastity and simplicity, commitment to God and to the poor and marginalized. And they sometimes lived alone, sometimes together. But for these Beguines, as they were called, prayer was crucial, was central, was being in the presence of God, seeking to unite their minds and hearts with the one they loved, whom they frequently referred to as their beloved. And this was a central goal, unity of will, that their will would become so united with the will of God that they functioned as a unified whole. And this unity of will would be evidenced by joy, mercy, compassion, and love. And they were completely egalitarian, no matter a person's station in life, level of education, level of wealth. None of that impeded or denied an awareness of God in their lives. And if we think of the background and the formal way that the church operated then, this was a huge shift in the area of the imagination, bringing an embodied experience of God and their own spiritual journey. We're going to be looking at one of these Beguines, Mechthild of Magdeburg, in a couple of weeks' time, but as a taster, one of her writings, those who wish to know but have little love remain forever at the beginning of a good life. Those who simply love and know very little are open to great things. Holy simplicity is the physician of all wisdom. It causes the wise to see themselves for the foolish person they are. When simplicity of heart dwells in the wisdom of the mind, much holiness results in a person's soul. So coming back to our breath, and with some of those thoughts of the unity of will, personal will would become so united with the will of God that they functioned as a unified whole. So I wonder, as we breathe, if we might imagine that God is breathing through you or for you. Welcome God's presence right here. It's not a question of praying harder, rather we pray into. We are God-breathed. So imagine God is breathing through you and we are united. Perhaps you can smile and give thanks for that. And if you want to use this short time to follow any thoughts that arise, just see if those take you any deeper. Or if you notice that your mind is racing, you might want to practice letting go of those thoughts, letting them settle. The idea of meditation as letting go, contemplation, following something to go more deeply. But either way, using the silence and the stillness, as Eckhart Tolle says. So we might take some of that Beguine philosophy, simplicity, holy simplicity, no impediment to the idea of unity of will between us and the divine. Aware of God's presence in our lives. We're going to go to our longer silence with some simple words from Salt of the Sound, Kyrie eleison, Christ have mercy. But just first some more words from Thomas Keating, adding the idea of stillness to silence. He wrote, "The deep listening of pure contemplation is the path to stillness. All words disappear into it, and all creation awakens to the delight of just being." So coming out of our silence, and a closing prayer, closing thought between All Saints and All Souls Day and Remembrance Day, Remembrance Sunday coming up. All our laughter, all our sadness, safe now in God's hands. All our anger, all our gladness, safe now in God's hands. All our stories, all our memories, safe now in God's hands. Those we remember, those we love, safe now in God's hands.